वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 19, King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. Text number 39 onwards. Maitre Vacha Ittham sa lok guruna adishto vishampatihi tatha cha kritva vatsalyam magho napi cha sandadhe. The great sage Maitreya continued, when King Prithu was thus advised by the supreme teacher, Lord Brahma, he abandoned his eagerness to perform yagyas and with great affection concluded a peace with King Indra. With great affection, not like grudgingly and with like, I'll see you later, that kind of thing. No. कृतावभृतस्नानाय पृथ्वे भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा ये तद्बिभर्षि तर्पितः. After this, Prithu Maharaj took his bath, which is customarily taken after the performance of a yagya, and received the benedictions and due blessings of the demigods, who were very pleased by his glorious activities. Yajna means Lord Vishnu, for all yajna is meant to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. Since the demigods automatically become very pleased with the performance of sacrifice, they bestow benedictions upon the executors of yajnas. When one pours water on the root of a tree, the branches, the trunk, twigs, flowers, and leaves are all satisfied. Similarly, when one gives food to the stomach, all parts of the body are rejuvenated. In the same way, if one simply satisfies Lord Vishnu by the performance of yajna, one satisfies all the demigods automatically. In turn, the gods offer their benedictions to such a devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, does not ask benedictions directly from the demigods. His only business is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he is never in need of those things supplied by the demigods. And just see here, Indra, king of the demigod, chief demigod, he was stealing the horse again and again, trying to disrupt the yajna. But when Brahmaji intervened, he said, it's okay, King Prithu, don't do the final yajna, don't do the 100th yajna, you have done 99, just be satisfied. And then all the demigods are collecting and they're giving benedictions to Maharaj Prithu. Are they going against King Indra's wishes? No. They cannot. Indra is the king. But they were all pleased by the behavior, by the gentleness of King Prithu. And in the previous shloka, we read how he made friends with King Indra. He made peace with King Indra. So ultimately, it's a humility of King Prithu, generosity, compassion, that won the heart of the demigods. And as Adit Prabhu asked the question yesterday, so when we discuss about Indra, are we committing an offense? Well, if we are discussing in a wrong way the position of Indra, wrong way the way he handled, we have to learn the lesson, but not putting the blame on Indra. On the same topic, well, why discuss about Indra? When we discuss about different behavior of different devotees, they could be just a neophyte devotee, or any person for that matter. If we discuss with some negativity in our heart, with the thought of putting that devotee down, with the thought of doing some harm to that devotee or devotee's position, then, as Prabhupada also said in the previous some purport, that it's committing an offense. Unless until we want to discuss it so that we can help that devotee in any way possible, we should not be discussing. Every person has good qualities, every single person. Could be going through some rough time, that's a different story. Just like when we say, this person is very angry, or this person is very shrewd, or he is very cunning. These are not the qualities of the soul. And these are only temporary phase. That phase could last for maybe 30, 40, 50 years, or maybe one lifetime, but that's not the permanent, that person. Soul is never cunning or shrewd or anything like that. Soul is always, we have studied so many wonderful qualities of soul in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam also. So that is the real position of the soul. In the material world, all of us have some or other bad qualities, many bad qualities to a lesser or a higher degree. We all have. That's why we are here in the material world. That's the basic reason we are here. We have to rectify ourselves. So if we discuss somebody else's bad qualities with a view to harm him in any way possible, to harm him, harm his reputation, harm his progress, what will happen to us? We can only imagine. First, we develop those bad qualities in us, and then secondly, we commit offense. Whatever that person is going through, that's his karma or his way of looking, whatever. But why do we have to cultivate those bad qualities? Generally, people say, oh, we are discussing, so we don't get into this. But we have to see our heart, why we are discussing. We have to introspect ourselves. Because what's going in my heart, nobody knows except Krishna as Paramatma and myself. Nobody else knows. So we got to be very, very careful. That's why it was written some place, I forgot where exactly, that bhakti is like a very sharp razor's edge, walking on the blade with a sharp edge, very sharp edge. We got to be very careful. One little mistake, they'll be cut. We can still say, oh, I'm performing bhakti, I'm chanting, I'm serving, I'm reading, I'm hearing, I'm doing my services. That could be just pious activity. It might not be bhakti anymore. It's better than not doing anything towards service, but we got to be careful. Are we really trying to please Krishna? And just like Prithu Maharaj, he is himself the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like that, like he is a Shaktavesh avatar. He could have easily killed Indra, but here he forgave Indra. Not just forgave him, he made friendship with him. And that shows his magnanimity, his generousness of his heart. And then in return, what he'll get? Lord Brahma already gave him the blessings. Now the demigods will give, and Lord Vishnu himself will give and give him blessings. Being pleased by his nature, by his way of dealing. And that is real yajna. Yajna is meant to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yajna is not meant that, okay, I did 100 Ashwamedh yajnas properly. Maybe the Supreme Lord himself sent Indra to do this kind of, because Indra is, after all, a devotee of the Lord. Nobody can become Indra, nobody can occupy that position without being a very, very high devotee, sincere devotee. everybody in the material world has material desires. So Indra also has. Fine. But he is in that position. None of us are in that position. He is the leader of all the demigods. Okay, barring like Shivji, Brahmaji, maybe Hanumanji. Hanumanji is expansion of Shivji, but Hanumanji position, his constitutional position is expansion of Shivji as servant of Ram, but as a demigod, he comes under Indra in the position wise. Ganeshji, they all come under Indra. So Indra's position, amazing. So maybe the Supreme Lord himself gives him this service, do these things, and because higher a position of a devotee, more tough the service will be. Just like Shivji is always given some services that Krishna wants to set an example through him. But in the end, whatever Indra does here, or Brahmaji also does some things, Shivji also does some things, Bhishma Pitama also did during the Mahabharata war. He shot arrows at Krishna and he was ready to kill Arjuna, the dear devotee of Krishna. And Krishna set an example through Bhishma Pitama that even if you have the benediction of Ichha Mrityu, even if you are the disciple of great sage Parshuram, and even if you have defeated Parshuram in the battle, and even if you know all the scriptures, you're the best warrior of the whole universe, still, if you are against my devotee, you have to perish. And Krishna set an example through Bhishma Pitama like that. So through Indra also he sets an example. So we have to learn the lesson, not pick on Indra. Oh, Indra always does these things. No. He's a great devotee of the Lord. So thank you, Adit Prabhu, for bringing it up yesterday. So whole day I was pondering over this point. That yes, it was a good point. Vipra Satya Shishastushta Shraddhya Labda Dakshina Ashisho Yuyuju Kshatta Adi Rajaya Satkrita. With great respect, the original King Prithu offered all kinds of rewards to the Brahmins present at the sacrifice. Since all these Brahmins were very much satisfied, they gave their heartfelt blessings to the king. Tvaya huta mahabaho sarva eva samagataha pujita dhanam anabhyam pitri devar shimanavaha. All the great sages and Brahmins said, O mighty king, by your invitation, all classes of living entities have attended this assembly. They have come from Pitriloka and the heavenly planets, and great sages as well as common men have attended this meeting. Now all of them are very much satisfied by your dealings and your charity towards them. And see here, Brahmins are saying, by your invitation, all classes of living entities have attended this assembly, and great sages as well as common men. So this was never in the society. The Shudras cannot attend this, or they are untouchables, or no, this and that. No, everybody is attending the sacrifice in Maharaj Prithu's assembly. And everybody was getting the gifts also, because in the end, Maharaj Prithu is giving gifts to everybody. So this caste system which we see today, it started during British time actually. And it is completely wrong way, the way it is set up, completely wrong. It is never through the scriptures. In the scriptures, it was never like that. Never, ever. So here completes our chapter 19. So we can start chapter 20th today. Lord Vishnu's appearance in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Prithu. Text 1. Maitreya Vacha Bhagwan api Vaikuntha Sakam Magvata Vibhu Yajna-yajna-patistushto yajna-bhuktam-abhashata. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, being very much satisfied by the performance of 99 horse sacrifices, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, appeared on the scene. Accompanying him was King Indra. Lord Vishnu then began to speak. See, if Indra was some bad person, why would he come with Lord Vishnu? Why would Lord Vishnu bring him to this arena? Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Eshate Akarshit Bharam, Akarshit Bhangam, Hayamedhasya Shatasya, Kshamapayat Atmanam, Amushya Kshantum Arhasi. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, My dear King Prithu, Indra, the King of Heaven, has disturbed the execution of 100 sacrifices. Now he has come with me to be forgiven by you. Therefore, excuse him. In this verse, the word Atmanam is very significant. It is a custom among yogis and jnanis to address one another or even an ordinary man as oneself. For a transcendentalist never accepts a living being to be the body. Since the individual self is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the self and the super self are qualitatively non-different because they both are part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the next verse will explain, the body is only a superficial covering, and consequently, an advanced transcendentalist will not make a distinction between oneself and another. So the Supreme Lord has come and he's saying, you should forgive. Excuse Indra. Means accept him as yourself. And that is why in Sanatan Dharma, our way of greeting, like in ISKCON we greet each other as Hare Krishna or Hari Bol or Prabhu or Mataji, giving full respect. And we pay obeisance, we pay pranams to everybody. Vancha kalpatarabhyascha, we say. But this obeisance is when we pay, we are not paying to the person, we are paying to the Supreme Lord Paramatma within. Or even in Sanatan culture, it says, we say Namaste, Namaste. Nama means I worship you. The who are we worshipping? Not the body, the soul and the Paramatma within. So idea is to recognize the soul and the super soul within that person, not to the body, not to the status or title of the body. That's not the aim. So idea is to go beyond the bodily level. So that's why the Sanatan culture, Sanatan Dharma is very advanced. We have lost the teachings completely. And Prabhupada's mercy, we are learning it back again. Sudhiya sattva loke naradev narotamaha navidruyanti bhutebhyo yarhi natma kalevar. O King, one who is advanced in intelligence and eager to perform welfare activities for others is considered best amongst human beings. An advanced human being is never malicious to others. Those with advanced intelligence are always conscious that this material body is different from the soul. In daily life, we find that when a madman commits murder, he is excused even by a high court judge. The idea is that a living entity is always pure because he is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he falls into the clutches of material energy, he becomes a victim of the three modes of material nature. Indeed, whatever he does under the influence of material nature. The embodied spirit, master of the city of the body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. So actually, the living entity or soul does not do anything. Everything is done under the influence of the modes of material nature. When a man is diseased, the symptoms of the disease become a source of all kinds of pain. Those who are advanced in transcendental consciousness or Krishna consciousness are never envious, neither of the soul nor of the activities of the soul under the influence of material nature. Advanced transcendentalists are called Sudhiya. Sudhi means intelligence. Dhi means intelligence. Sudhi means highly advanced intelligence. Sudhi means highly advanced, and Sudhi means a devotee. One who is both devoted and highly advanced and intelligent does not take action against the soul or the body. If there is any discrepancy, he forgives. It is said that forgiveness is a quality of those who are advancing in spiritual knowledge. Forgiveness is a quality of those who are advancing in spiritual knowledge. Very, very important, because we have to understand the soul is always pure, okay, under the influence of material modes of nature. He has committed something, and like Jesus Christ also said, hate the sin, not the sinner. And the Lord also forgives. Sarva dharman pariteje mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyam mokshashyami ma shucha. Krishna, more than Krishna, the munificent Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, they are ready to forgive even before we ask for forgiveness. And what to speak of a spiritual person who's advanced? So this is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There are many places the examples comes, and it is said that when one should forgive others for transgressing before they even ask for forgiveness. Just like I remember Lord Jesus Christ, his followers, his disciples asked him about this forgiveness part. So Jesus Christ says, forgive them 7 times. Even they've committed 7 times sins against you, forgive them. But if they commit more, then you forgive them 7 times 7. So that was his mode. So forgiveness, this is what Prabhupada said, forgiveness is a quality of those who are advancing in spiritual knowledge. Many times, because of our neophyte positions, new on the path of spiritual life, on this spiritual progress, so this becomes very difficult to forgive somebody who has committed or done plenty against us. But this is something Krishna is watching. He's trying to see how much spiritual qualities he's developing, how much humility, how much tolerance, forgiveness, how much he's developing. So forgiveness is always a great, great, great quality. Maybe in the beginning stages we cannot forget. So we don't want to get cheated, or we don't want to go through the same situation again, because it disturbs our mind, and we cannot concentrate on the important things. So that is in the beginning stages. That is fine. So it slowly, all these qualities, when we are working on it, they will develop on a higher and higher and higher degree. So in the beginning stages, it could be forgiveness, and then forgive and forget, and again, and then it could be forgive, forget, and still work for still act as a well-wisher of that person who's again and again committing the same issue, same, I don't want to say crimes, but same activities. That's a very high position. Just like we have heard about this story, that there was a sage and he went to take bath in the river, and when he was bathing, he saw one scorpion floating in the river and he was drowning, almost drowning. So a sage picked him up in his both hands, and as soon as he picked him up to put him on the bank, on the dry ground, but as soon as he picked up the scorpion bit him. And the sage, because of pain, he just let go of the scorpion. And the scorpion was again floating in the water and he was about to drown. The sage picked him up again to put him on the ground. And the scorpion bit him again. And again, because of pain, he just let go of the scorpion. And third time he was going to pick up. So there were other sages around him. They said, why are you picking him up again and again? You know he's going to bite you. The sage, very calmly, he said, the scorpion is an animal and he doesn't give up I know he is not going to give up his nature. That's his nature, to bite. But how can I give up my nature of being compassionate? He's not giving up his nature. Why should I give up my nature? Again, we have to see what's our level, what's our situation. So slowly, we develop these qualities. These are wonderful qualities to develop. And we have to work on these. We have to work on these to make advancement. So anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. So looks like you all have forgiven me. Thank you. You all.
No.
Oh, you haven't forgiven me.
No. Mesmerized so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you all very
Thank
much.
you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.